Okay. So today I was kind of feeling like we'll I really want to get some good abs in today, but I also just want to like practice a little bit of like self myofascial release stuff. Just been thinking about you all in that, and I've been thinking as well, just like sometimes what my body asks for, just talked about a bit before this, how there's just like a lot coming up for me right now, and I think as we evolve and as we change and as we take decisive action towards the things we really want, like it's inevitable that things are going to come up. It's inevitable that there's going to be nervousness or just like old patterns that are in our tissues, in our bodies, inevitably come up as this edge when we're expanding to the new horizons of our comfort zone, right? Whether that's in success or money or love or abundance or health, even, right? Like anytime we're up against this new edge, this new frontier of good, oftentimes there's these edges that are old, that are so used to being in a different place that it's an uncomfortable place to be, even though it's what we wanted. So today the intent is to practice curiosity because I think that's really been something that has been my lifeblood and my lifesaver over these past few months of just like instead of assuming that I know everything, dialing up my awareness to get really curious about, well, what actually is going on? And is it the first story that my mind tells me? Or can I go beneath the story and can I just feel a little deeper into what is? And then not necessarily have to make a story around it. Because sometimes in that place of curiosity is when you're in this like ocean of possibility. And I find in that space, when I'm actually aiming to get my nervous system into that place where there's an ocean of possibility in me, and there's not I'm going to be right. I'm going to tell the right story. I know exactly what it is. I know exactly what's going on. When I shift into that space, something changes. So that's the invitation for today is to just practice a little more curiosity about sensations, try and dial that up. And then yeah, we'll see where that takes you. Okay. So today, I don't think we need any props today. Maybe a wall, but I don't know. We'll find out. But I think today we'll just you and your yoga mat, okay? So go ahead and sit cross-legged and sit up tall. Today we'll start by also integrating some of the basic moves that we've practiced in the past. So bring your hands onto your side ribs for deep breathing. Here at the start of practice, send 8 deep, slow, and expansive breaths into the area of your lungs and your ribs beneath your hands. Practice a breath that is slow, quiet, smooth, even. Even myself, when I sit and do this, there's normally a number of those first few breaths where part of me is still just focused on, okay, I'm breathing, I'm doing a thing. But then can you dial up your curiosity a little higher and search for more sensation? What do you really feel underneath your fingers? How do you feel your lungs and your diaphragm furling and unfurling? Can you feel for a sense that there's maybe an area of your rib cage that doesn't quite move as much as others? And then go ahead and identify one area of the ribs that just doesn't quite feel like it moves as much. It might be right under your hands, or it might be a different area, but you just get a sense is a little jammed up. Then place one or both hands onto that area that feels a little more locked. And right now, instead of going into the, okay, now we're going to go ahead and expand this spot. Just get curious about how your breath and the guidance of your hands' awareness can have you reach into this area different for the next few deep breaths. There's no getting it right. There's no getting it wrong. Until you die, there's no finishing this whole breathing thing. Now for the last few breaths with your hands in this spot, can you get a sense of brightening up your energy? Can you be curious about how your energy can shift from the inside out? Then go ahead and bring your hands back to their original positions. Continue with smooth, even, quiet, deep breaths. And be curious if things feel at all different to you now as you breathe. Go ahead and relax your hands down. Straighten left leg. Come into a seated side bend position. Right foot close to the ground. Left hand down on the floor, close to your left calf. Arm alongside ear. Reach the right bicep close towards the right ear. Inhale and feel for your lungs unfurling this way you're exploring. Exhale and activate your hands and your feet without necessarily tensing them to the 100%. Can you just have energy flowing to them? Awareness flowing through. Neck release. Go ahead and reach the right hand away from the right ear. Palm facing down. Lean the weight of your head away from the right shoulder. Exhale, very gently continue to reach through the ring and middle finger of the right hand. Dial up your awareness as to the space that just made for you to breathe into your right collarbone and your neck. Single leg lifts. Bring your hands onto the floor, either in front of your hips or behind your hips. For single leg lifts, inhale, lift your ribcage away from the floor. Exhale, active left foot reaches away from the floor a few inches. Inhale, lower the heel down. Go for 3 more. After your third one, rest the heel down, point through the ball of the foot, spread your toes of the left foot, and then walk your hands forward towards left ankle. Close your eyes and dial up your awareness to the back of your ribs and your low back. Does your posture crunch or inhibit any of these areas? Can you shift to make it more spacious for your breath? a more easeful entry for your breath. You tuck the left sit bone into the floor a little more. Press your hands into the floor. Slowly walk your chest up to change sides. Straighten out the right leg. Bring left foot in by the groin. First pose is arm alongside you. Right hand on the floor close to the right calf. Stretch with the left arm above head towards the right foot. Can you use this pose to feel into the difference between the right and left side of your chest here? And if there was one spot in your ribs you were working on earlier, how can you lengthen more in that area instead of collapsing? Neck release. Go ahead and reach the left hand away from the left ear. Inhale, feel for continuing to expand the spot you breathed into earlier in all directions. Forward, back, left and right, up and down. Single leg lifts. Slowly bring torso up. Have your hands either back behind you or in front of your hips. Activate the right foot. Inhale, lift your ribcage away from your hips and floor. Exhale, ground through the right sit bone, reach the right foot up. Inhale, slowly lower the foot down, control through the leg, and go for 3 more. After you finish 3, walk your hands forward. Right away, feel for what's going on in the area of the ribs that you chose to expand on earlier. Can you use your hands, your feet, your ribs to create, through your posture, more surface area around this spot for it to expand? Hey, press the hands into the floor. Slowly bring your torso on up. Let's do some abses. We're going to do a lot of different abs, but we'll only do a few reps of each, okay? Just to get into different areas of abs and really light up different spots. Okay, so go ahead and lay on your back. For the first abs, have your arms resting on the floor, palms facing up, and then pick up your feet so that your knees are above your hips and your feet are just below the height of your knees. Activate your feet by spreading through the ball of the foot. Spread your toes. Inhale, expand your breath, cross your ribs. Hold your breath, press your low back, mid back, and the neck towards the floor. Exhale, reach the left heel towards the ceiling, flexing your toes back towards the shin. Inhale, bend the left knee, come back to the start position. Hold your breath, press the back into the floor, as much of the spine as you can down. Exhale, reach up through the right heel, flexing your toes back, spread your toes with both feet. Active sole of the right foot is reaching it. Inhale, bend the right knee. Go for 1 more on each side with your own breath, staying curious about your own minds mind trail. Come on back to the start position for TVA activation with heel strike. Inhale, spread your breath to the sides of your ribs. Hold your breath, press your back into the floor, and exhale, flex left toes back towards shin. Slowly move the left heel forward and then lower the left heel down, keeping your knee bent the whole way. The slower the motion, the more your abs turn on. Keep the low back rooting into the floor. Inhale, pick up the left foot, come back to the start position. Hold your breath, press the low back into the floor, curl your tailbone up just a little bit. Exhale, slowly float the right heel forwards and then down, keeping the knee bent. Keep your tailbone tucking upwards. Pull your abs in. Inhale, come back to the start position. Do one more on each side. Finish up on your last one. Pick up your feet again, and then reach your hands towards the ceiling. Have your palms facing one another. Hands active. Inhale into the back of your ribs. Hold your breath, press your spine into the floor, curl tailbone up. Bring the right hand to the outer edge of left thigh so that you're pressing the back of right hand into the left side of your left thigh. Exhale, heel strike with the right heel. Slowly move the right heel forwards and down while you press the left thigh towards the right hand towards left thigh. Feel left side of abs turn on. Inhale, pick up the right heel, reach the right hand up. Hold your breath, press the back into the floor, curl tailbone up, then bring the outer edge of left hand onto the outer edge of right thigh. Exhale, press hand and thigh towards one another and slowly lower the left heel forwards and down, hugging your ribs in. Reach up with the right hand. Inhale, come back to the start position. Lift the left hand towards the sky. Hold your breath, press low back into the floor, curl tailbone up. Bring right hand to the outer edge of left thigh. Exhale, reach the right heel towards the ceiling this time. Reach up through the foot, spread your toes. Inhale, bend the right knee, pick the right hand up, reaching at skyward. Hold your breath, root your spine towards the floor, curl tailbone up, and bring left hand to the outer edge of right thigh. Exhale, press hand and thigh towards one another. Keep that line of energy active and lower the left heel forward and down towards the floor, reaching up with the right hand. Relax your jaw. Inhale, come back to the start position. Oh, I meant to do a straight up towards the ceiling. It's okay, we'll do one more. Inhale, hold the breath. Press the back into the floor. Bring the outer edge of right hand to the outer edge of left thigh. And exhale, heel strike here. And then on the other side, we'll reach up towards the ceiling. Lower the right heel towards the floor, pulling the left side of abs in. Inhale, pick up the right foot. Right hand reaches up. Hold your breath. Press the back into the floor. Bring left hand to the outer edge of right thigh. This time, exhale, reach the left heel towards the ceiling, spreading through the toes, flexing toes back, pressing the right thigh into left hand. Inhale, come back to the start position. This time we go to the inner thigh. Hold your breath. Press the back into the floor. Bring right hand to the inner edge of left thigh. Could be also close to the knee. Exhale. Reach the right heel up towards the ceiling. Press the right hand towards the left thigh towards the right hand. Inhale, bend the right knee, reach the right hand up. Hold your breath. Press the back into the floor. Curl tailbone. Bring left hand to inner right thigh. Exhale, slowly reach up with the left heel, spreading the ball of the foot, reaching the toes apart. Pull abs down. Inhale, bend the left knee, reach the arms up. This time, we don't cross the body, we stay same side. Exhale everything out. Inhale into the spot of your ribs you're expanding upon today. Hold your breath, press the spine into the floor. Left hand comes onto the top of left thigh this time. Exhale, slowly lower the right heel forwards and down while you press the left hand towards left thigh towards the hand. Just enough that you feel the left side of your abs contracting in. Inhale, pick up the right foot, reach the left hand up. Hold your breath, press the low back into the floor, bring right hand onto right thigh. Exhale, press the hand and thigh towards one another, slowly lower left heel forwards and down, pulling your abs in and down. Inhale, pick up the left foot, pick up the right hand, come back to the start position. Go ahead and lower your hips and feet down to the floor for frog lifting through. So now that we've worked all these different areas of your abs, now we get into the lower abs. Go ahead and pick up your feet once again, bring them to the start position. Lace your fingers together behind the back of your head. Inhale, curl your head and shoulders up off the mat. Get your shoulder blades up as much as you can and straddle your legs open into a frog position. The knees stay bent. Exhale, curl your sit bones up towards the ceiling. Reach up with your triceps like they're sliding up a wall. Pull belly muscles down. Inhale, relax in the pelvis, relax in your low back. Keep head and shoulders up. Exhale, curl the pubic bone towards the navel, reach out through the inner thighs, flex the little toe side of your feet down towards the floor, pull low abs in. Inhale, lower the hips back to the floor. This time, Kung Fu Frog. Straighten the left leg, keep the right knee bent. Exhale, curl your pubic bone towards your navel, reach out through the inner knees, reach your elbows and triceps up. Shoulder blades lift above the floor. Inhale, relax in the pelvis, bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Exhale, curl pubic bone to navel, reach out through your inner thighs. Reach the pinky toe side of the foot down, reach your elbows and triceps up. Straddle lifting through. Go ahead and straighten the left leg. Inhale. And then exhale, curl your pubic bone towards your navel, reach out through your legs. This time, spread through the balls of the feet. Spread your toes out. Pull your low abs in and down. Reach your shoulder blades away from the floor. Inhale, relax in the pelvis. Exhale, head down. Bring your hands to the outer edges of your thighs. Help your legs together. Lower feet down. And then come straight up into a bridge. Lift your hips up. Arms relaxed down. Use this bridge pose as a way not only to turn on your legs, but to also be curious about what it feels like just after having done all those abs, to feel the connection between legs and abdominals. Exhale and slide your neck along the floor, moving your chin towards your chest. Sense into if your shoulders have a tendency to hike up towards your ears. And exhale, move your shoulder blades away from your ears, down your back. Notice that when your neck becomes more relaxed, did your hips want to automatically lower down, and can you turn on your legs again? Go ahead and lower your hips on down. For back release. Here in this back release pose, get curious about which side of your hips feels a little more off, a little more tight, or a little more tense. Okay? We normally have one side that feels it more. Go ahead and cross your left ankle above the right knee, along the right thigh. Activate your feet, pick up the right foot, and draw the right knee towards chest. Wrap your hands around the front of the knee, shin, or the back of the right thigh. Send deep breaths as low towards your hips as you can reach it. Sometimes it helps to get breath down into hips to actually bear down a little bit. Register how you feel in your left hip, where the tightness, the tension lies. And then let's change sides. Lower the right foot down. Swap the cross of your legs. Pick up the left foot, draw left knee towards chest, and then wrap your fingers around left knee, left shin, or the back of left thigh. Immediately start to wash deep breaths towards your hips. Get a sense of what feels different on this side of your hips and your knee. Even how your knee feels here is connected to what's going on in the story of your hips. Register how this side feels. Take a little comparative moment to the other side. Then go back to whichever side felt more tight or tense. We're going to give it a little more attention today. So if you need to swap, do. Or if you need to figure out which side was tenser, you can figure that out. Once you're here in this pose, go ahead and grab on the back of the leg that's in front. So instead of grabbing on the knee or the shin, grab on the back of the hamstring. From there, go ahead and start to swivel, internally rotating the thigh and externally rotating the bottom thigh. So one foot is in that cross-legged position. The other leg that you could straighten towards the ceiling in this pose, swivel it back and forth, moving the foot to the left and the right. And as you do that, feel into the hip to get a sense of what is opening at what angle. So when you swivel the foot, you actually are hitting new angles of the other hip. Now start to move the foot up and down, the free foot. As you bend and straighten the angle of the straightened knee, or the back knee, you are getting another sense of how this interacts with the hip that is getting the opening. Stay curious how this motion affects subtle fibers in your hips. Good, then go ahead and lower the foot down. Change the cross of your legs. So if the left ankle was above the right knee, then you swap, okay? Or vice versa. And this time, instead of having the ankle close to the thigh, slide the knee closer to the other knee for a one-legged bridge. So the hip that you were just stretching is now going to activate that glute by pressing through the floor, lifting the hips up, and the knee that's crossed over the other is just relaxed. So that there's only one glute activating and lifting up. Inhale, lower half of the way towards the floor with your hips. Exhale, drive through the foot on the floor to reach the hips up. Go for 3 more like that, lowering halfway down. And then on exhale, pressing the floor away, lifting hips up. Okay, then come on down to the floor. Roll onto your left side. Set up so that your knees are bent. Your head rests on your left bicep, and your feet, your sacrum, and your neck are all in a line. For clamshells. So for here, inhale, expand into the side of the ribs that's on the floor. Exhale, keep your ankles together, reach your right knee up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lower the right knee towards the left knee in a controlled fashion. Exhale, lift through the knee, feeling the outer edge of your right hip contract. Inhale, lower the knee back down. Exhale, reach the right knee towards the ceiling, feeling the right glute fibers turning on. Inhale, lower the right knee towards the left. This time, you're actually going to go ahead and bring your left hand onto the right side of your ribs. From here, massage the right side of your ribs using your hand, your palm, or your thumb, or you can use fingertips to get a sense of where along the right side of the ribs, up into the armpit tissue even, feels tender, tight, or even painful. Basically, some area that you could give a little extra attention to in serratus release. So I found a spot. Take the next breath to find a spot, and then press into that spot like you're pressing your fingers towards your ribs, holding that part of your ribs down. With your other hand, go ahead and start to make intuitive movements with your top arm. So it doesn't necessarily need to be a circle, but you're reaching through the hand, trying to find how you can reach through the hand and press through the ribs to allow this spot to release a little more. Practice sending deep, smooth, even breaths through your ribs. Oftentimes when there's some dysfunction in a shoulder or a neck or even the upper back, this area is related to it. So integrating this spot, not having to overwork, in fact, being pinned down and releasing its tension, plus there actually being mobility in the arm and a relaxation and a stretch in the neck, allows for new patterns to arise in this area. Oof. Okay, let's go ahead and do the other side. For this, you can just roll onto your right side. Make a pillow with your right bicep for your head. Stack your left knee above the right, and then have your feet with knees bent in line with the bottom of your tailbone. Clamshells. Inhale into the right side of your ribs. Exhale, keep ankles together. Slowly lift the left knee up towards the ceiling, reaching up only as much as you feel the left glutes turning on. Inhale, lower the left knee towards the right. And in fact, you can place your left hand onto where you feel your left femur bone. And then slide the finger up a little bit higher, so it's on the upper fibers of the glute. Inhale, expand your ribs. Exhale, lift the left knee up. Feel this area beneath your fingers popping up, feeling it contract. Inhale, lower the knee down. Go for one more, feeling this area light up. Hi, puppy. Inhale, lower the knee back to the floor. Go ahead and bring the right hand onto left side of ribs for serratus release. First, just massage into the whole area of left side of ribs, about from the place that the sternum ends, so about that height of the chest, to the upper armpit. Any and all of this tissue is game because all of this is the fibers of serratus anterior. Ooh. And when you find a good spot to work on, give it a few circles, pressing in and massaging around in a circle. And then just press into that tissue, either with thumbs or with fingers. Then start to move the top arm around to help liberate that spot. You can practice how you bend at the elbow and reach through the elbow. You can also practice how you rotate the arm, whether internally or externally, to get a sense of new sensation in this spot. Oh my gosh. For me, when I externally rotate and hold this spot, it's like, oh. Keep up with deep breaths, especially into this spot along your ribs. Like you're coaxing your breath to experience your ribs in a new way. Oh, okay. And then go ahead and rest that down. And guess what, everybody? We made it to Shavasana. So go ahead and roll onto your back. Rest with your palms facing up. And return to a smooth, even, steady breath pattern. At the beginning of class, I invited you to feel into your ribs expansion to the sides. Right now, feel for how your ribs move outwards. Feel how having brought more conscious awareness to this pattern allows you to access it more easily. It's like that with everything in life. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect, but it definitely makes neurological connections. Now get a sense of expanding the back of your ribs. In this case, it's actually helpful to have the floor there, because just like you used your hands on the sides of your ribs at the beginning of practice, you can now breathe into the floor support. And especially if you have some shoulder funk in a certain shoulder, can you get a sense of breathing into the back of that side of the ribs? Like you're creating a little breath cushion beneath that shoulder blade. Now feel for expanding your breath to the front of your ribs, front of your heart. Now get a sense that your breath can expand upwards and downwards, creating space between each rib in your rib cage.
Come over here.
Lastly, feel for your breath simply moving in and through your body. Now without having to guide it anywhere. Can you stay curious how your breath is fueling this life journey? How your energy, your emotion is your compass. And can you feel right now for aligning with the direction you most want to go? Today, stay curious about how you can shift into a state that feels more spacious, more smooth, more even, more quiet, and more aligned. Go ahead and start to move your joints. When you sit up with a relaxed neck. Use one hand to help your head up. Okay, bring your hands in front of your chest. Thank you all for starting this week out with me. I hope we all have a great week ahead of us.